All right, welcome back to another video, guys. Different trader here. I want to break down my trade on gold and show you exactly how you get in the same exact way by simply using price action. Now, if you don't know by now, price action is a very simple but effective way to get into the market where you don't need EMA lines or anything like that. It's strictly looking at market structure and price action patterns to make a decision to buy or sell or even to hold on or to close out your trade. Now, looking at gold, if you see it right here, I want to start from the very beginning when I first got into this setup. Now you can see I was in for a sell. Now going down to my 4 hour time frame, I like trading the 4 hour or the 8 hour. Those two by far are my favorite time frame. I always get into them trades, nothing else right there. Because them time frames alone, it gives you the time necessary to make an informed decision. When guys trade the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, every single 5 or 15 or 1 minute, they got to make a choice. It goes up and down, this and that. On the 4 hour or 8 hour, you can really take your time and really see the trades or the patterns you want to act off of. Now, see this right here. You can see the very first pair or the very first trade I got into on this pair, it broke down below this level, it pulled back here, it made a pattern at this level, and I got it for myself. Same thing here. Here's the breakout. We see a pull back to the trend line the same exact way, made a pattern, and goes for the sell. Now, this is where things get kind of tricky at, or we got to know how market structure come into play. Now, you can see how this right here was a previous level and price action broke below it. This right here was a previous level and price action broke below it. Now, this right here is also a previous level, but price action failed to break below it and have a pullback here to keep on going to the downside. Now, that could have happened and that downtrend would have kept on playing out. But instead here, we see a breakout above the trend line, and then we have a pullback and then it makes that morning star pattern. Now, this morning star pattern is by far one of my favorite go-to patterns when getting in for a buy. These patterns happen effectively at 9 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon, either 9 a.m. in the morning or 5 p.m. in the afternoon. It's just that simple. It's exactly the way I teach my guys. This is why I also say being on the higher time frame, it gives you time because every single bar that comes across is 4 hours. So these two bars alone will be 8 hours of your day, but you don't have to do anything whatsoever. You get in off of that morning star, you enter that trade, you take your time, right? And you see the trade going up in profit, going up in profit. And this is what I mean by the higher the time frame, it gives you time to slow down to make the right decision versus you being on the lower time frame, you have to act super quickly. Now, seeing this right here, this is also how I'm able to hold out my trade. I always act in the market around 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. And then 10 p.m. before I go to bed, I kind of check my trade and make sure I have my stop loss there or anything like that. But this is how effective gold really is. And you can see my trade I just got into in the previous week. This is what I mean by I always trade the 4 or the 8 hour time frame when it comes to gold because it's so very effective when getting in for these setups. Now, seeing this right here is the same exact thing. I saw my breakout, step one, saw my pullback, step two, identified my pattern, step three, and I got into my trade and I carried that trade all the way out. Just look how simple this is. You don't need EMA lines, you don't need a Fibonacci, you don't need all the bunch of stuff that you see on many trader charts which confuse you and make sure that you can't really find a valid entry because you're always waiting for another indicator to pop up before you decide to buy or sell. And most of the time before then, it's way too late to get into. You might get in way too early or you might get in way too late. When you know price action, it really helps detail and break things down so you know exactly when to get into. I can get even more deeper into this previous trade over here, right? You guys can pretty much see that this is a double top reversal pattern. It breaks below the neckline, it pulls back, and look at the pattern that it makes. A big evening star pattern. That's also how I know I'm going to get in for myself. This is what I mean by the 4 and 8 hour. Them two together is super powerful. You can make so much money in the market. And then besides that, with a thing like gold, you can just keep on holding on. And we know gold been rising because the stock market been falling, and so has a dollar because all the pressure from the terrorists and everything like that. So we see a lot of pressure in the market. So investors are going towards gold. because it's way more safe right now when it comes to securing your money or placing your money in some kind of market, right? Gold right now is keep on going sky high. You can still make more trades from it. And we see it right now where it's currently at as far as live, where it's at here. This morning, I see a potential morning star trying to form once again, right? So we have the breakout step one, we have a pullback step two, is trying to make a morning star here. I can get back in for my buy and see what it keep on riding out. Because prediction goes wild. We see some indicator predicting that gold might go as high as 3,700. So we still have a good ways away about making that profits. We can find another clean entry and get right back into it. But this right here, guys, how I was able to enter on gold simply by using market structure. I saw the break of that downtrend in this given area here on the 4 hour time frame. I saw in price action broke this downtrend, pulled back, made the morning star pattern, and that's how I got in. Look how long you can hold out your trade. Like this entry was April 8th, all the way to now April 18th. So that's 10 days away. You're just holding out your entry and doing little to any work. But I see you next time, guys, right? If you're not subscribed already, go subscribe to the channel, and I see you next video. Have a good weekend.